All right, Reggie. I know we did a segment recently where we talked about Adam22 and him talking about the changes over at No Jumper. I wanted to get your opinion on something that he said though on Street TV, where he said that no one wants to hear you talk about anything other than death row stuff from 20 years ago. That it's just not relevant, or you're not relevant without the death row stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
See, the thing with Reggie Wright is that is like he kind of blew up off telling all these old stories about death row and all this shit, and it kind of gassed him into thinking that people want to hear him talk about other shit. But in reality, that's not really the case. Like he talks about No Jumper. I clicked on this clip. I wanted my fucking time back. I was just like, how the fuck is this even real, bro? Like this is the worst commentary I ever
Hold on,
heard.
what'd he say?
It was just like, oh man, like No Jumper. They got a bunch of different gangs up there. Like something bad gonna happen one of these days. Something bad gonna happen. Look here, I tell you what. It's just like, bro, it's giving old man sitting on the porch, and it's just dry as fuck. We want to hear you talk about Suge pissing in somebody's face.
Well, I would love to only sit up here and tell death row stories and music business stuff. I'll be honest. I would love to only be able to do that. But those get repetitive after a while. And to be honest, we don't do well with the music stuff. We get, we have a fan base for it, but we don't get a lot of people that would like to view it. But I think he must want me to sit up and down there. I swear, the few times I listened to him on his show, all he talks about is something about an asshole, either his asshole or some transgender asshole that he wants to go in, or for someone to go in his asshole. And so that's what he want me to sit up and talk about. I get his point. I know about death row. He knows about getting fucked in the ass. And so maybe that's why he just talk about getting fucked in the ass all the time. But taking that, I would say the only thing we want to hear about from him is riding bicycles or allowing your wife to get fucked by other men. And how one day your kid's going to see this and see that daddy had no problem with it. Daddy allowed it. Daddy encouraged wifey to go home, to go get fucked, and then come home. And so then if I can only talk about death row stuff, that's all he should be able to talk about. That ain't all neither one of us want to talk about. He said, I don't get any views or anything. Well, that's because he don't know much about me. And by his admission, and I understand he don't know much about me. He tried to play like he didn't know anything about me when he brought up what I had said about Mac 10.
So I don't know if you know Reggie Wright Jr., but
Yeah.
he had a video come out the other day where he was like exposing what really happened in the West Side Connection breakup. And it was pretty much the same story that I've been hearing for years and years, which is
I
that
didn't hear it. What did he say?
it's basically the same shit that we've always heard.
About a year ago when him and Mac 10 had that interview. Come to find out everything I said about the West Side Connection group and what really was the root of it. Mac 10 never denied. And it turned out that later on in interviews that what Reggie Wright said was true. But I'll show you a few videos that's not death row related. Just a few that did major numbers. Here's one right here. When I talked about some LA stuff that went on with Shaq, those numbers did okay for me. That did okay. Here's one. When we talk about Keefe D, my numbers did okay. Here's one when we talked about P. Diddy. The numbers did okay. Here's the one about the West Side Connection one that I talked about earlier that did okay. Wasn't death row related. Here's something where I talked about Jamie Foxx and Tyron Turner. Had nothing to do with Death Row. They did okay, right? I could go on and on and on. But y'all tell me, really, seriously, tell me who tapes 2 times a month, 3 times a month at the most, post something up every day. One personality, just one person. It's Reggie and John that do better numbers than us. I'm not talking about the channels as a whole. Go and pay a guest to come and do this. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about just one person that's talking every day, but don't take daily. I'm not comparing myself to a Hassan Campbell and all of them who goes on and do streams or I don't even think Star Report do them daily. I ain't talking about stuff like that. I'll tell y'all. Well, let's take Suge Knight. Y'all like to compare me to Suge Knight. Let's talk about that. Let's look at that. Suge Knight tapes every 2 to 3 weeks, right? Look at his numbers. Matter of fact, our next episode, we'll break down those numbers and show y'all the difference. Hey. So, thank you, mistaken again, Adam. Think you done caught in another lie. Just like the lie that D-John had to break you out on by posting those texts when you trying to act like you ain't never heard about him getting shot. And when you over there giving him condolences and checking on his status and how his leg doing. You see the goddamn Texas. But you gonna go on a show a month later saying it never happened. Okay, Adam. Use the proven liar now, man. So go and think about who asshole you gonna dig in. That would be my advice to you.